Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name is Wendy Gathercole. I'm your host. How are you this week? This week we're talking about stress. Are you sick of it yet? Well, I hope that you are, because then you will do something about your stress, because you can't do anything about it. Well, you can't change it unless you are aware of it and what's causing it, and then you can do something about it. But if you're not aware of what causes it, then you can't change it. So we're trying to get you to be aware of what's causing your stress, because I don't believe you have a stress problem. You have a speaking and thinking problem and a non-doing problem. And you really don't have a problem. It's just a process, because I don't do problems. I only do processes. So this stress that we're talking about is a process. And why do I know this? Is because I don't do stress. Sometimes my body does, unbeknown to me. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's taken on stress. Now, how does that work? Well, sometimes we have something that happens in our life that's a real trigger. It's oh my God, how am I going to handle that situation? And then we know we may talk to somebody and it's like, no, it'll be okay. Just do this. And then you're like, okay, yep, I get that. That'll be fine. But the thing is, our body holds on to that because we say it's okay. That's our intention. And this is in my course. But our instruction realistically to our body is, no, it's not okay. It's stressful. So, sometimes you talk to people and you know that there's something going on in their lives. And look, I'm all for not acknowledging shite so much. But so going back to it, you talk to somebody, you know that there's a lot of hurt maybe, or there's a lot of displeasure going on in someone's life, and you go, how are you going? Is everything okay with you? And they go, yeah, everything's good. And then they get sick. So everything's not good. And now I'm not, like I just said, I'm not into this is happening to me, all the story of doom and gloom either. So where does that sit? Well, this is how we reframe how we speak and think. It's okay to say I'm having a shit time at the moment, but I'm dealing with it. Because if you're being that truthful and aware, your body is knowing that, knows that. It knows that you're having a crappy time, but you are dealing with it. You're choosing to see it, you're choosing to be aware of it, and you're choosing to make choices and to do take inspired action to alleviate it. So intention and instruction are two completely different things for your body. And this is inside my course. I explain this just simply. It's not a huge course. We don't want more stress. I like simple things. Keep everything simple. Everything should be simple. We are the ones that make it really hard. We always second guess everything all the time. Is this the right way to do it? Am I doing it do I have to do it like this? And then you do something and then it's like, oh no, I'm not sure about that. This is all stress, unsurety. Is that a word? Maybe. So getting back to it, you don't have a stress problem. And what are you going to do about it? If you are listening to this and you're saying, but I do have a stress problem, Wendy. So what are you doing about it? You know, what are you doing about it? Are you aware that it's your speech? Are you aware that it might be your thoughts? If you are, then what are you doing about it? Because, like I've been saying, if you're aware of it, if you're aware what's causing your stress, then what steps are you taking to alleviate them? I I think I've got it in my second book, but I definitely know I've got it in my first book, a Whole Foods to Facts. There was a time in my life that, a lot of stuff was driving me crazy. But one thing in particular, and this is where it really landed with me about this stress business. I had cushions on the couch, you like that home decor, but none of the people in my house did, and they all got thrown on the floor, and nobody picked them back up before they left the area. So, it was up to me, typically next day, pick them up. And it was one day that I was picking them back up off the floor. I said, this is giving me the absolute shits. What can I do about it? So this was inwardly stressing me out. It was annoying the crap out of me, and I was getting frustrated and angry every time. And of course, all those emotions, they put stress on your body, don't they? So I thought, what? I don't want to keep doing this. This is not creating wellness in me, and I wasn't 100% well back then anyway. So that could have been part of that could have been part of the reason. It didn't help it anyway. So what could I do about this situation? So instead of having a beautifully decorated couch with cushions that I really liked because I used them, I decided to take them off the couch. That's it. Just took them off the couch, put them away, not to have them back ever again. And guess what? That was the starting point. That simple little practice was the starting point for me really looking at the stress in my life. And then that day, I looked at everything else that was pissing me off, and I thought, everything that annoys me, I'm going to put it in the cupboard. Didn't do that with the children though. Just want to let you know that. But everything else, I looked at what annoys me, what do I keep nagging about, what frustrates me, what causes angst in my body, what, you know, what. So that day I had so much fun realizing that I can make this choice and not have to think about how this affects me anymore and how it upsets me. And I don't have to speak to anybody about it anymore. So that was it, done and dusted. And I've gone from strength to strength since then. So it is a practice, but it only takes one simple little realization to start the ball rolling. So what are you going to change today that can start the ball rolling to alleviate stress from your mind and body? Hope that helps. See you next week for another exciting episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. Bye.